Here we have the 200 series GC, redefining what we think a gas chromatograph can be. So let's dive right in and take a look. One of the reasons we started Ellutia nearly 30 years ago was that we felt the design of GC equipment was stuck in a rut. And let's be honest, even now the majority of GC systems still haven't changed that much. Yes, there might be a touchscreen on the front, but it's most likely still just a big grey box. When we started looking at a new GC, our first thought was to create a system for universities and education. We spoke to students and lecturers to discover their experience with GC equipment, what was working for them, and what they would want from a system. The story we got back was relatively similar across the board. They were often using aging, second-hand equipment as new equipment was too costly. Students were only getting limited time to use the equipment as they could only justify one or two systems as they were taking up a lot of valuable bench space when not being used. So we took all of this feedback and went to the drawing board. The most crucial aspect we had to get right was the analytical performance. Without delivering outstanding analytical results, everything else would be a waste of time. So we had to get the balance right to ensure the GC had all of the features to perform the analysis required, but would not be over-spec'd and over-engineered, as that would drive up costs, size and complexity. The vast majority of end users we spoke with were only running a minimal number of different methods and didn't need multiple detectors or channels. So that's how we designed the 200 series. A single channel instrument with one injector and one detector. We have a standard splitless injector for the inlet, but we can have gas sampling valves if required. For detectors, there is a choice of either FID, TCD, ECD, FPD, or the ability to connect to a TEA detector. The column oven can take both packed and capillary columns. Capillary columns from any manufacturer would fit, though we would advise getting them on the smaller 5-inch cage to give yourself a little more room. The oven itself is fully temperature programmable with a maximum temperature of 300 degrees C. Carrier gas pressure is controlled electronically. Methods can be entered via the keypad or set up and downloaded from a PC. Input and output lines for additional functionality, such as running and starting external devices such as autosamplers. And finally, the signal out is a standard 1/10 volt analog signal. All this meant an instrument that delivers on its promise of not having to compromise on analytical performance. Whilst it may have been designed for education, the performance has meant that many of the systems sold have been to perform routine quality control applications across a wide range of industries. The heart of the 200 series is the unique design of the oven and heating system. Have you ever asked yourself, if GC columns are round, then why are the ovens almost always square? There's an inefficiency in heating all that unused space. We made the oven for the 200 series as compact as practically possible while still being able to fit a column in, and we made it round. This gives the 200 series GC its very distinct appearance and means we're only heating what absolutely needs to be heated. It also means we can minimise the distance from where the injector and detector are located to help eliminate potential cold spots that could affect the chromatography. The next part of the puzzle is then heating the oven. The 200 series GC uses a flow-through oven and heat exchanger system to increase efficiency significantly. So what does this mean? Air enters the GC and passes through the heat exchanger, then through the heater where the heat is added. It then cycles around the oven before passing back out via the heat exchanger. As it passes outwards, it gives the heat energy to the incoming air. This means that the majority of the energy is retained within the system. You need less power from the heating element to heat the incoming air to the required temperature. A typical conventional GC has a power rating of nearly 3000 VA. The 200 series GC has a rating of only 800 VA. That's over 3 times less. So not only do we get fantastic efficiency savings, it means we can use a smaller heater, which in turn means we can use a smaller power supply, which helps significantly reduce the overall size and weight of the GC. The size and weight of the 200 series are something we're most proud of. It is truly remarkable that something of these dimensions does not compromise the all-important analytical performance when compared to a larger conventional GC. Having such a small footprint means it can be easily transported for use out in the field, or simply that it can be put away in a cupboard when not in use, saving valuable bench space. Focusing on the features that users want and need means we can deliver fantastic value. It means they get an instrument that can do everything they need and are not paying for features and specs they will never use. Why pay for all the additional costs for an instrument with a column oven that has an upper temperature of 450 degrees C if the applications you're going to be running on it will only go up to 250? With the ability to offer affordable monthly payments rather than an outright purchase, the 200 Series GC makes gas chromatography more accessible than ever. To find out more, click on the links below.